This yoga practice is designed for the new mom who is somewhere between 3 to 4 weeks postpartum. This practice is very gentle and safe. It's designed to help begin the process of rehabilitating your pelvic floor, your abdominal muscles, build support for your spine, and also help to alleviate some of the tension and tightness that can form in the shoulders, neck, and upper back from all the time spent with your baby. We don't need any yoga props for this one. You don't even need a mat. Honestly, you could do this practice on the carpet or in the bed or where you feel most comfortable. Let's begin by coming onto our backs. Laying in a position where your knees are bent and your feet are on the ground. Give yourself the luxury of settling in here, taking a little bit of time to get comfortable. That really is a luxury these days, isn't it? Let your hands come to rest on the two sides of your belly with your elbows bent. Go ahead and close your eyes here. And start to welcome in some deep breaths, so just noticing as you inhale, noticing as you exhale. Allowing yourself to enjoy these last couple of deep breaths here before we start to bring in some movement. And for those of you that are just getting back to your practice, just starting to therapeutically work with your body again, please be very patient and gentle. This is not the time to be aggressive at all. This is really just about building a connection again. So be patient with yourself and know that every week postpartum makes a really big difference in terms of how you feel and how you're able to utilize your muscles within your body. But you're laying a great foundation with this work today. Breathing deeply just the same, start to engage or contract your pelvic floor muscles, squeezing them in and up towards center, and then rhythmically releasing and relaxing them. Slowly hugging the pelvic floor in towards center, drawing it up towards your belly button, and then rhythmically releasing. Good. Do this twice more, contracting the pelvic floor, not so much the glutes and the belly, but think like the Kegel area, that deep tissue of the birth canal. Releasing. Doing one final one. And then let your pelvic floor relax and slowly with your hands on your belly, start to belly breathe. Inhale, fill the belly up, let it stretch out. Exhale, gently hug the belly down and in, so you feel some engaging of the belly area. Inhale, relax the belly, let it stretch, let it fill up. Exhale, gentle contraction, pulling the belly down and spreading it wide across the mat. Continue this, inhaling, filling the belly up. Exhaling, contracting it in and down. We'll do this 3 more times, just following the rhythm of the breath. And starting to get some nice somatic movement for the belly area. then gradually come back to breathing normally. Let your arms extend out to the sides of your waist. And see if you can gently lift and tuck your shoulder blades underneath you to get a little more connection with your shoulders and upper back on the mat. As you take your next exhale, pull the belly in and down while you simultaneously squeeze your pelvic floor into center. Then slowly, as you inhale, press your hips up away from the mat, maybe just a couple of inches, nothing too dramatic. And slowly exhale to lower down. As you inhale, release the belly and pelvic floor and hips. Exhale, gently draw the belly in, squeeze the pelvic floor into action. And inhale, gradually lift your hips a small amount from the mat. Then as you exhale, lower down to the mat just as mindfully. And inhale, release your belly and pelvic floor. We'll do this one more time. Exhale, pulling the belly in, engaging the pelvic floor. Inhale, slowly lifting up through the hips. And then exhaling back down to the yoga mat. And inhaling to relax. Slowly press into the floor. Breathe continuously as you lift your hips up from the mat and simply hover the hips there for a few breaths. You might come up just a little bit higher than before, but only if that feels like it's not terribly taxing or overworking in any way. Keep it on the gentle side of the spectrum. And then release your hips down to the mat. Very slowly, start to pull your right knee in, and then your left knee in, and just lightly hold your hands around your legs. Giving a little stretch to the lower back, a stretch to your hamstrings. You might even feel some noteworthy sensations in the pelvic floor here. And then release your feet back down. Now, if you have some separation in your abdominal muscles, continue working with belly breath here. So inhaling into the belly and exhaling and slowly drawing the belly in and down. Otherwise, we're going to do a little bit of an abdominal toning exercise, and you'll want to move towards a wall or your headboard or any surface that's nearby. So from here, you would place your feet onto that surface, and the knees are a comfortable distance apart. We're not going crazy wide here, just open to a shape that doesn't feel too vulnerable. Toes and knees are angled out in this position, and we're going to gently cradle the head in the hands. Now, please remember that we really want to be very soft and sweet with the body. If you feel a little bit nauseous or like you're working hard, then you definitely want to take it even easier. From here, press your feet lightly into the surface that they're resting on, and allow yourself just to breathe naturally as you slowly start to coil your head up. And maybe it just comes up a tiny bit, maybe it comes up a couple of inches, and then gradually comes back down. And your goal might be to do 3 of these at first. So just kind of easing into it. Ideally, a practice like this one is going to be something that you do every day as a part of your rehabilitation, but After you've been able to do 3 comfortably, you might start to do a few more. And as the strength comes back, working your way up to 9 or 10 of these total. You can even start to focus on gently pulling the belly down towards the ground at the top of this exercise. Definitely don't overdo it. Your body has been through so much. Rest and give yourself time. So once you've done as many of those as you feel comfortable with personally at this time, start to lower your feet down. You might turn if it seems appropriate to come back to where you originally were, or you can stay where you are. And start to roll over to one side and eventually come up into a seated position. And come into a simple cross leg and sit up nice and tall. And as you inhale, reach your arms all the way up over your head. And as you exhale, bring your hands together in front of your chest. And interlace your fingers there, and inhale, push your palms out and up over your head, stretching the ribs actively up away from the hips. And then exhale, let your arms come down and wide to the sides. As you inhale, stretch your arms upward over your head. Then exhale, bring your hands together in front of your chest. Try to interlace your fingers in the opposite way, and inhale, push the palms forward and up. Exhale, relax your arms wide and down to the sides. Inhale, roll your shoulders forward and up to your ears. And exhale, release your shoulders back and down. Inhale, roll your shoulders forward and up to your ears. And exhale, slowly back and down. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Take your fingertips out to the sides of you and inhale, reach your spine long. Exhale, plug the shoulder blades into the back of the body and gently lower your chin towards your chest. And keep this action of the shoulder blades hugging in the chest broad as you roll your right ear towards your right shoulder. Your chin back down to your chest. And your left ear towards your left shoulder. And then just slowly flowing back and forth. Maybe even looking up a little bit. And just starting to bring some light stretches into your neck. Breathe really smoothly as you do this. Once you're even on both sides, bring your chin to your chest and slowly lift your head upright. And from there, reach your arms in front of you and cross your left arm underneath your right arm. You can either hug onto opposite shoulders here or bind your fingertips into your palm to get a nice opening for your upper back. And continue to try to sit nice and tall here, with your tailbone moving back and your ribs and your chest gently moving forward and up. then slowly relax. And gradually reach your arms forward, crossing your right arm under your left arm and either hugging shoulders or binding your hands. And then slowly release your arms and gradually start to come forward to your hands and your knees. And take your knees out wide, touch your big toes, and let your hips move back towards your heels. You might come down onto your elbows here. You might only come back a little bit. With your hips, you might come back a lot. For me personally, I found that stacking the forearms and letting my head rest felt really good. And from there, start to rise back up to your hands and knees. Sweep your knees off to one side and prepare to come down onto your back for a little bit of rest. Stretching out your arms and your legs. And just kind of settling in there. Come back to your breath. And with every exhale, give yourself permission to relax a little bit more. If you have more time to continue relaxing, I encourage you to take advantage of that. If, however, it's time to come out of the practice, then gradually bend your knees and roll over to your right side and gradually press your way up into a seated posture of your choice. And let your hands join over your heart center. Either palms touching or palms resting against your chest. Allow yourself to savor the gift of this time, knowing that it is so precious to be able to focus on yourself. Thank you for your time today. Blessings to you for a healthy recovery and a peaceful transition into motherhood. Namaste.